David Elder,
Present. Present.
That was our call-in number. It is David on the line.
great.
Yeah, sorry I had to call in. I couldn't find the Zoom link on the agenda. It's probably right in front of me, but I was just like, call.
Yes, and it is on the calendar invite. Sorry to interrupt you,
Oh
Rachel.
my gosh, thank you.
Yes.
I might switch to that then.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Bianca Martins de Oliveira.
Bianca Martins de Oliveira, present.
Thank you. Caden Yangard.
Caden Jangard is present.
Salome Dulika.
Salome Obleka, present.
Chinonsu Unagu.
Recording in progress.
Katie Bricarella.
Katie Brickerell, present.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel, for doing that. We do have quorum with 4, 5, 6, 7, with 10 out of our 15 members present. And then, oh, I'm sorry, we're not done with I forgot we have our non-voting people. But we do not have a president's cabinet at the moment, so that will be an easy one for us. There is nobody to mark present. And then I believe we have our faculty advisors here. Dr. Robinson, I see you. Thank you. Dr. Colombo, I don't believe is on this call. Dean Crittenden is not on this call. And then is our GPSA manager and advisor, Nia, here.
Nia Smercina is present.
Yay, thank you. Alrighty, and is Dante on this call?
Dante Washington is present.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Whew, you guys, I promise we're gonna get this rolling a lot easier soon. This threw me for a loophole, so bear with me. But we will now move into a period of public comment. Because this meeting has no physical location today, we will read in any telephone public comment instructions allowed. Members of the public may provide live public comment by telephone using the Zoom dial-in listed on the agenda, phone number 719-359-4580. Meeting ID is 981-2498-7763. If you're participating by phone and would like to provide public comment, please press *9 to raise your hand if that function is unavailable or is available to you. When you are called on, press *6 to unmute yourself. If the raise hand function is not available, our meeting team will identify phone participants and provide an opportunity for comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. Please begin by stating your name for the record and spelling your last name. No action may be taken on a matter raised during public comment unless the matter is included on the agenda as an item on which public comment may be taken. With that being said, is there any public comment? Okay. Nia, do you know if we have any public comment online or called in? I don't know exactly how to check that.
There's no public comment over voicemail. And did anything get emailed to you, GPSA Secretary Rachel?
No. Nothing was emailed.
Perfect. Thank you. So then, not seeing, hearing, or have received any public comments yet, we will go ahead and close public comment and move into item 4. Can I have a motion to open our consent agenda? Do I need a motion to open our consent agenda?
There does need to be a motion to open the consent agenda, and someone on the council can just say so moved, and then we just have to have a second.
Can I have a motion to open item 4 consent agenda?
Vice President Nehemiah, so move.
Perfect. And can we get a second?
Second, Bianca.
Alrighty, this item was motioned by our VP and seconded by Bianca. Thank you for that. Our consent agenda will be approved in whole unless any members choose to pull an item out of the consent agenda in whole or in part. Unanimous consent will be used for the approval of the consent agenda. An individual item may be pulled from the consent agenda if anybody would wish to do that. We have 3 items in our consent agenda, which is our approval of minutes from meeting 4601, the approval of stipends for council representatives and the executive board officers from spring 2026, and a committee appointment to sponsorship committee for Iola, who I believe is on this call. Yeah. But with that being said, does any members want to pull any items from our consent agenda, or are we all good to move into a vote on approval? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda in whole?
And Vice President Nehemiah, so move to approve the item on the agenda.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Alrighty, there was a motion to approve the consent agenda in whole by our VP and seconded by Bianca. We will now move into a vote. With that being said, Nia, do we have to go into a roll call since we're all online? I don't remember the specifics of that. You are muted.
You do not have to move into a roll call vote. You can just simply take a vote. So.
Okay, so
Ayes,
all in
noes.
favor, please say aye.
Should we put on the chat or should we say here?
We do have to do it all verbally. We are not supposed to be using our chat.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
Opposed? And any abstaining? Alrighty, not seeing any. Our consent agenda is approved. Thank you all. Can I, or on that, then we will go ahead and close item 4 and move into item 5, our reports and recommendations. So going down the list, I do have a lengthy report for you all today. There's been a lot happening since May and when we all graduated, or not graduated, since the semester ended to now. So bear with me as I read you all a very beautifully prompted script that we spent way too long writing. But here's a quick report. A lot happened over the last month. The Nevada System of Higher Education, also known as NSHE, and the Board of Regents held their quarterly meeting on June 11th and 12th. The board reviewed several initiatives that supported workforce development and student success across NSHE. Regents received updates on the implementation of SB 353, which was designed to strengthen behavioral health workforces, the workforce pipeline by expanding support for clinical training opportunities and supervised placements required for licensure. This initiative is expected to increase training capacity and improve access to behavioral health. The board also expressed strong support for several new UNLV programs, including 2 new bachelor's programs, as well as a Psych D in clinical psychology program. These were recognized for addressing workforce needs and expanding education opportunities in our high demand fields. UNLV also presented plans for a new downtown presence at the called UNLV at Civic Plaza, which is designed to strengthen community partnerships, relations with government agencies, and other community organizations. The Regents also authorized negotiations related to a new Vegas loop, possibly having a station at UNLV's campus. We'll hear more updates on that at the special Board of Regents meeting taking place next week, and I will give you all an update in our July meeting. And the board also approved tuition and fee proposals for the 2027-2029 bienniums. Tuition and fees for Kerkorian School of Medicine and the School of Dental Medicine will remain unchanged, so you're not going to see any fee increases at least through 2029. And then William S. Boyd School of Law will see a 3.5% fee increase in fiscal years 2028 and 2029. The Board of Regents also approved revisions to the process for how our student government constitution amendments will take place. It has just added an additional level of review, which will be for GPSA conducted by the Dean of the Graduate College. And for the undergraduate student governments, it will be additionally reviewed by Student Affairs and Dr. Rogers' office. This is, again, just an advisory and review step. It doesn't change our approval process. That still remains with you all as council, and then going up to the chancellor for final approval. Let's see, the graduate college is also wrapping up its search on the new assistant dean to replace former assistant dean Dr. Burke's position. We have our final wrap-up meeting before we send recommendations to the dean's office next week. So again, hopefully we have someone in that role very soon. It's very much needed. And then lastly, members were reminded that the Board of Regents will hold a special meeting next week. This will be a super important one as we are electing our new Board of Regents chair. One was not selected at the quarterly meeting after 2 rounds of votes, where they need a majority of 7 people to vote in a new chair. Hopefully at the special meeting, we get to 7 votes one way or the other. I see Dr. Robinson laughing. But yes, other than that, that is my lengthy report, and I will move on to our VP's report. Or I guess, sorry, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts for me? Okay, not seeing any. I'm gonna move on to our VP's report.
Thank you, President True. So as Vice President and also as the Chair of the Sponsorship Committee, I would like to provide an update on the GPSA sponsorship program. So for the previous funding cycle, which actually includes applications submitted in April and also reviewed by the sponsorship committee in the month of May, we actually received 38 applications. Out of the 38 applications, 36 were eligible for review. 1 applicant actually withdrew his application. But due to the budget limitation we had, we were able to fund just 7 students out of the 35 eligible application. And the total amount that was available for awards during that cycle was $8,750, which was kind of low compared to the total budgets we received based on the applications that were submitted. Looking ahead to the current cycle, the committee will review applications later this month. That's on the 26th of this month. We have received 20 applications already, with 19 currently eligible for review, and 1 applicant actually did what I call a self-review. And also, thanks to the President's discretionary funding allocation of approximately $10,000. At this point, the sponsorship committee currently have about $11,864.95 available for awards in this cycle when we meet on June 26. Nevertheless, the total amount requested by the applicants for this cycle is actually $31,701.89. So we can see that there's actually a strong demand for graduate and professional students funding opportunities, and at the same time also the importance of we being able to identify additional funding sources to be able to support our students in their research, their professional development, and their scholarly activities. So lastly, I just want to thank the sponsorship committee members for their continued service and dedication to ensuring that whenever we meet, we always have what I call a fair and transparent review process. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for our VP Nehemiah? Okay, does not look like it. Thank you so much for that report. And let's move into our treasurer's report with Kalyani.
I share my screen. Then, so this is the GPSA financial statement of accounts for May 2026. And as you can see that as of May, GPSA has received approximately $496,000, which is very close to our projected revenue of $502,983, which is approximately 99% of our revenue, estimated revenue has been collected throughout through May. And so most of this funding comes from registration fee, students' registration fee, and some very little portion comes from other services, other revenue, which is some snacks and giving some services to the GPSA students. And so through May, we have provided more than $167,420 in research and scholarship funding, which is you can see here, which are helping students with their academic work and the research educational cost. And in terms of percentage to the budget, 97% of the budget towards research have been spent through till YTD. So this means all the budgeted one we have to use for the students. And GPSA has also dedicated $142,000 for research scholarships and all, which has been transferred from our main budgeted accounts to the research accounts. And so far in terms of expenses, and as you can see, we have spent $351,350 against the budgeted expenses of 502,983. So which is like 70%. This balance also includes the reserve we make for future services and the spending. So these are the category of like in detail of the expenses, like in terms of personal cost, we spent 174,722.08. That is YTD, and only for the May we have spent $16,733. And when it comes to general operations, which is for the purchase services, supplies, and rental payments and other operational expenses, which includes all our GPSA program, Capanon program, for the benefit of the students. So this comes to around $34,060, and very little amount towards the travel expenses. So, and at the end of May, we have a balance of $208,193, which is 42% of our revenue. That's 502,983 amount. So out of this, 50% above 100K goes towards the reservation, and the balance will be carried forward to the next accounting year after next month once all the fiscal year accounts gets closed. So right now we are in good health with the balance of 208. So we meet all our requirements and prepare for future programming. So that's all from my end. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that report. Does anybody have any questions or comments for our treasurer? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
A quick point of clarification. Well, Kalyani, will you be emailing your report to the GPSA secretary so she can distribute it with the minutes?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Rachel, can you hear us? Was I muted? Oh, that's awkward. I'm sorry. Rachel, let's hand it over to you for our secretary's report. My bad.
I have nothing to report at this time. Thank
Perfect, quick and easy. We do not have anyone in our president's cabinet yet. Hopefully you all vote some members in for us later on in the agenda. And we will move to 5C, our GPSA business manager and advisor, Nia.
Hello, folks. All right, so I really have no major updates other than we're onboarding the new executive board and they're doing a fantastic job with the pivot that we had to do today with the building being closed. There's a whole bunch of regulations for open meeting law. And they pivoted, they danced beautifully last night and today as we figured out what to do. And so I appreciate all of them for dancing so well. And I know there's a handful of new representatives here. I'm sorry that we couldn't meet in person. So if you guys do need anything from me, I do have a link that I will put in the chat. We've disabled the chat for everybody else, but I'll put this in the chat. You guys can save it, but it's just a way that you guys can book time with me if you need to. It's just a 30-minute time block of so you can see my calendar availability. And I also want to let the council know that I will be out of town starting at the tail end of June and through a huge chunk of July. So I will be working remotely for portions of July and out of town. So if y'all do have questions for me, please feel free to email me or feel free to also book some time with me if you would prefer to do that. But I'll put that link in the chat so you can get a hold of me since I will be offsite for a huge chunk of July. And if anybody has any other specific questions they would like, please let me know. Is there anything else that anybody would need from me at this time? I don't think so, other than just the typical closeout information for end of fiscal year and also awarding scholarships from the fall and spring.
Perfect.
Thanks. Folks.
Any questions for our advisor and business manager? Speak now or forever hold your pieces until you have another question and we can come back to it later if you do. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Nia. Also, one last thing that I forgot to mention was our executive board meeting. We were not able to have that today due to the library being closed. It has been rescheduled for June 30th at 9 a.m. So if you are free and want to attend our executive board meeting, we love the company. And I will send a notice out to everyone again as we get closer to that. But that was my last little update I forgot about. And then we can move into item 5D, our GPSA faculty advisors. Dr. Robinson, do you have anything for us?
So just to be quick, we have a new provost. And I don't know that we want to invite him in the summer because it's not a full council, but we should be working to figure out a way to get him to come in and chat and make sure Alyssa comes in and chats too, so that the council has a chance to talk to Dean Crittenden. Both those two should be in. The only other thing I'll say is the regents once were asked by the legislature when there was 11 of them what their proper size should be. So they made a motion to stay at 11, that failed. They made a motion to go to 9, that failed. They made a motion to go to 13, that failed. So they made a motion to tell the legislature they couldn't make up their minds, and that passed. So it's not unusual that there's a 6-6 tie, and they're two very different people. Just in case you don't know, one of them is a PhD candidate in anthropology, who might end up being the chair of the Board of Regents. And the other one is the first elected female student body president, undergraduate president at UNLV. So they both have deep connections to UNLV, but they're at wildly different ends of the political world. So it's something to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dr. Robinson. Again, if anyone does want to know a little bit more, the Board of Regents meetings are all public, and I can share out the virtual link. If you do want to just sit in and watch any of that, there's a call-in link to make public comment as well. But Board of Regents chair is definitely a big job, and I encourage you all to do your research and make any public comment in support or against if you want to, but definitely look into this. They help set the entire agenda for how NC operates moving forward. Our manager and advisor, Nia, has a question or a comment.
I just have a small comment, because there's so many updates that happen at Board of Regents and they're so interesting. I would like to propose that you guys consider this for a future moment, but watch parties, Board of Regents watch parties, we could have them live streamed in the conference room. Just a thought.
That does sound amazing, and we should definitely do that. I will unfortunately be at Board of Regents in person, but everybody else should definitely have a watch party, and hopefully when we get our cabinet put in place, our Director of Engagement and Outreach can help with that. But thank you so much. And then we can move into item 5E, committee reports. This is super easy with the exception of sponsorship. We do not have anyone on any committees at the moment. But with that being said, VP Nehemiah, do you have any updates for sponsorship that you feel like sharing at the moment?
No additional reports for that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, we'll be doing committee appointments as well in this meeting, hopefully, pending you all approve it and open those items. But we will definitely get some people on committees and everything moving forward. For item 5G, is anybody on a UNLV campus-wide committee? So anything from parking to IT to search committees, anything anyone wants to share? Okay, I have a couple. So we are on housing, or I'm sitting on our housing and dining committee. They recently just met. The director of housing, Peter, has moved on to a new role outside of UNLV. So they are going to be opening a search for the new director of housing in hopefully the coming weeks. It looks like they want to move pretty quickly on finding a replacement for that role. They also just presented to GPSA, CSUN, and Housing Residential Life President on their projected fee increases for 2030 through 2032. They try to have them prorated out as far as possible so that students can make educated decisions and guesses on where their housing and dining fees are going to be when coming to UNLV through that 4-year period, specifically more for our undergrads and grad students who are falling within that 4 years. I know some of us are in programs that take 6 to 7, so they project as far out as they possibly can. They are projecting a fee increase. It is, I will get the exact numbers for you. It was less than, I believe, 6% in 2030 from what you all see on the current website right now. That was supported by CSUN, GPSA, and again, housing. So they will be updating their websites and putting those new projected rates out shortly. Again, we have wrapped up most of the search for the assistant dean of the graduate college. We're going to meet next week and then send recommendations on to Dean Crittenden for her to make a final decision. I think that's all I'm sitting on. Oh, we also have the NSA Council, which is the Nevada Student Alliance, which is all the university student government presidents sitting on a council together. We were all at Board of Regents. Our CSUN president, Kalechi, has been made our NSA chair. So if you see him around, give him a hug or support or something, because he is now also the representative voice for like 100,000 something students. So wishing him the very best of luck. That is all the committees I believe I'm on. If I miss anything, I will email you all shortly. And then let's move into item 5H. I don't think we have any university departments present today. So let's move into 5I, our graduate college rep, Dante Washington.
Okay, just a few things. So for graduates, we are currently processing over 1,000 offer letters, getting them into Workday, so we can make sure that you guys get paid on time. So if you haven't seen anything in Workday yet, just be patient. We're trying to get everybody in by July 31st. Also for tuition waivers, if you have not seen your tuition waiver, we have not started adding them for fall yet. we will start adding them in July. So you should see a zero balance or however many credits your department decides to cover. You should see that cleared out by August 1st. If you do not see that by August 1st, just please send us an email to the Grad Financial Services email so we can take a look at it and see if anything is holding it up. Also note with the tuition waivers, if you notice that you have a balance, but you're only enrolled in 3 credits or under 6 credits, we will not add your waiver until you are enrolled in at least 6 credits. So also, if you are enrolled in 6 credits and then we add your waiver and then you add another course, please let us know so we can update your tuition waivers. As far as if some of you are working additional employment, so that extra 10 hours, please fill out those GA forms so we can get those approved so you can get paid for your additional 10 hours. And then if you have any friends who are still looking for a graduate assistantship, please just direct them to their graduate coordinators of their department, and also check on Handshake. Every department does not post on Handshake, so you can also check on some department websites. They will list their open positions. But us at Grad College, we don't have a list of who's hiring. So if you ever sent us an email asking, we're just going to tell you the same thing. Now, every now and then we may receive a department saying, hey, we're hiring some GAs. We will send that out to students who have already inquired about positions. But yeah, if you have any questions regarding your tuition, your GA offers, or just anything, emergency retention grant, just let us know.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for Dante? Not seeing any. One question for you. Would it be helpful if GPSA tries to reach out and find like what all the GA ships being offered are so that your office can at least have a list to help direct them? I know that might be messy, but it would be nice if students could see it all in one place.
Yeah. We've tried to like put it in a centralized location. It's just hard because a lot of departments will go to their students first before they let us know if they're hiring anything. Probably on average, we may get 3 departments reach out and say like, hey, we're offering GA ships. And sometimes that could be in the middle of the semester. It can be at the beginning. So it's not just a clear cut like, oh, we have this list, or, oh, this person is going to reach out at this time. So that's why we always like say like check on Handshake first, or like I said, check on department websites. But we also do not know like which departments post on their website, so it's kind of like all over the place. So yeah, we can try. I can, whenever I receive any open positions, I can email you and let you know like, hey, these departments have reached out. That way, like we can get some type of announcement out for GAs.
Yeah, no, I would, Trey, for the record, I would definitely love to do that. Any way that we can partner or help with that, please let us know. And we're always happy to just send out information. I want our students to get any GA ship opportunities that they can. School's very expensive, so.
You're right. No problem.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. If there are no other questions, comments, or concerns, we will move on. Not seeing any. Can I have a motion to open item 7, new business?
David Elder, so moved.
Thank you, David. Can I get a second?
Katie Brickerell, second.
Perfect. Moved by David, seconded by Katie. We will go ahead and open item 7A, appointment of the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs, summer 2026 GPSA Council member. This was a seat that was not filled over the spring semester. There was no nobody from GPA or from Urban Affairs stated that they wanted to join summer council, so we sent out an email blast, and we have one person interested, Lakiasha Hollingsworth, who is on this call. We're going to give her just a few moments if she would like to say a few words, and then I would entertain a motion to approve Lakyasha as our GPSA, or I'm sorry, as our Greenspun College of Urban Affairs Summer Council rep. Lakyasha, are you present?
I'm here. Sorry, my camera isn't working though.
No, all good. We'll give you up to 3 minutes if you'd like to say hi, hello, let council know who you are. We'd appreciate it.
Sure, I won't take up the whole 3 minutes, but hi everyone. My name is Lakeisha Hollingsworth. I am entering my third year in the doctoral program of public policy here at UNLV. I'm a director of TRIO Student Support Services at Nevada State University. I'm also a part-time instructor of mathematics. I've lived in Vegas for about 18 years now. Hometown is Detroit, Michigan. I'm excited to be able to be a part of this, and hopefully, if approved, I get a chance to be active this summer, advocate for students, do some collaborative leadership. That's pretty much it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for our candidate or concerns or anything that you want to share? Okay, not seeing any, I would entertain a motion to approve this candidate to be our Greenspun College of Urban Affairs Summer 2026 GPSA Council member. Long title.
Hi, Vice President Chukwere. Move to approve the item on the presented agenda.
Perfect. Moved by our VP. Can I get a second?
Bianca for second.
And seconded by Bianca. We will move. Sorry, Nia, do we have to do like an actual roll call vote since it's an appointment? I don't recall. Or can it just be a normal approval?
It does have to go to I believe this has to go to a vote for the appointment, but it does not have to go to a roll call vote. Although anybody on the council can request a roll call vote at any time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So then on that note, can I get all in favor? Please say aye.
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 Perfect. Any opposed? And any abstaining? Alrighty, not seeing any. Lakyasha, you are now our GPSA Greenspun College of Urban Affairs Summer 2026 Council member. We're so excited to have you. Big fan. Everybody take a moment, applaud. You are now, since you are in the position, you can vote on items as we're moving forward. Please stay for the whole meeting so that we can continue to meet quorum. And yeah. But no, congratulations again. And on that note, we will move to item 7B, the appointment of the School of Integrated Health Sciences Summer 2026 GPSA Council member. We have 2 candidates for this position coming up. We have one who I believe is on the call, Manas, and then we have Heather, who recorded a video under 3 minutes. We'll let Manas go first to present, and then we will also watch Heather's under 3 minute video. And for that one, I believe we will then move into a discussion period and then into a vote. But Manas, you have the floor. Tell us who you are, what you want to do, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. If the committee is okay, I would like to do a short 3-minute presentation.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much. My name is Manas Yogendra Agrawal. I am a molecular medicine researcher and I have been in graduate education for last 8 years. And I have served on student leadership positions for more than 10 years now. And I'm currently studying the effects of space and earth radiation on esophageal cancer. My journey started from the West in Vancouver, BC as an intern. Then I went to New York City as a PhD student. COVID happened, so I transferred to Texas, but they lost funding. So then I am back to the West, continuing my PhD education in Las Vegas. Why do I want to serve on this position? I'm a strong student advocate. As I said, I have served on these positions for a long time, even as a graduate student organization president and senator. I have made a few things possible in the past as leadership positions. I made free health insurance possible for grad students in Texas Tech University. Uh, I also asked the university to remove the differential fee, started some travel awards for the women in research. As the ambassador for diversity, I started a cultural event. And as an education liaison, I networked with various senior healthcare professionals and scientists. Being in research, I'm mostly on campus, including the entire summer term. So thus I feel that this position would be good for me. And being an international student, but also having been in US education for 8 years, I understand both the worlds and their issues. Priorities for my colleagues. I would like to initiate a departmental seminar because we have different sub departments, but we never talk to each other. So that would help us collaborate, making a centralized database so that we know who is doing what kind of research and techniques we can use. I would propose a shuttle service as SIHSs across various buildings, and it's very hot here. I would propose various softwares for free of cost, such as imaging, statistical citations. We need that every day. And making the transfer and course credit policy easy, because I myself, I have been transferred a couple of times and it becomes very difficult for students to do that. So I would propose and advocate for that. And as far as the requirement of the position is concerned, I will attend all the meetings. I'm happy to serve on internal committees, and I'm going to take fall credits. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Manas. Also, just point of clarification, can you please also send this PowerPoint to us so that we can upload it to our drive for our minutes?
Yeah.
If you want to send it to me, I can get it over to our secretary. Thank you so much. We will also now jump over to Heather's short video. Bear with me, I'm not the tech guru here, so let me see if I learned how to share my screen. I feel like I should have learned that back in COVID, but we're here, so. Okay, are you all able to see that? Okay, cool.
Hi everyone, my name is Heather Tran and I am a PhD student in the Interdisciplinary Health Sciences program with an emphasis on sports psychology. I just graduated this past May with my master's in kinesiology and also had the opportunity and privilege to serve on the GPSA Council for this past year as a representative for the kinesiology and nutrition sciences program. Although I'm unable to attend the meeting in person, which I apologize for, I want to share a little bit about myself and why I love the opportunity to represent the School of Integrated Health Sciences on the Summer Council. Over the past year, serving on GPSA has shown me how important graduate student advocacy is. I've worked to communicate updates and opportunities to students in my department while learning more about the issues that impact graduate and professional students across campus. I believe that every student deserves to feel informed, supported, and represented. If selected for the Summer Council, my priorities would be to continue advocating for the needs of the students from the School of Integrated Health Sciences. This includes supporting student research and professional development opportunities, promoting clear communication between GPSA and our programs, and ensuring that student voices are represented as decisions are made over summer months. I also value collaboration and would enjoy working with representatives from other colleges to support the broader graduate student community at UNLV. As someone pursuing a career in higher education and sports psychology, service and leadership are very important to me. I care about building a positive and supportive environment where graduate students can succeed academically, professionally, and personally. I would be honored to continue serving and representing the School of Integrated Health Sciences on the GPSA Summer Council. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I hope to have the opportunity to continue advocating for our students this summer. Thank you.
Alrighty, so that was Heather's video. Unfortunately, she's just traveling at the moment and had a trip scheduled before our council meeting was scheduled. But with that being said, we can open it up for a period of discussion, be able to ask questions to Manas. Unfortunately, Heather's not here, so we can't ask her any questions. But does anybody have any questions or comments?
Katie Brickerell, for the record. This is definitely not a comment to either
potential candidate. I'm sure they would both be excellent additions, like they're great students, obviously all that. This is more of a question about procedures. So both of them are actually well, Heather mentioned that she's a student of the Interdisciplinary Health Sciences program, and Manas is a student of the Interdisciplinary Health Sciences program. So I want to clarify on whether they fall under my interdisciplinary umbrella or if they are, originally when the seat was created, it was stated that basically that we are not allowed to represent schools that technically we do not belong to. And since we're members of the grad college, technically Manas right now falls under my jurisdiction. And so it's really a question about procedures and correct aligning someone with the position.
No, thank you so much, Katie. I am going to defer to our manager and advisor, Nia, to see if she can provide me more context.
All right, Nia Spursina for the record. So this is an excellent situation. And actually, we haven't ran into this one before because a lot of folks who are in the interdisciplinary programs do operate most of their time out of one specific department. So they feel ownership to a specific department, but they are in an interdisciplinary program. So I guess that is a question back to this council. I think we might need to have some language written in on how to move forward. So I think this is one of those periods where we would have discussion. Do we want this person to represent that position, to that seat? Is that appropriate? Our bylaws say that it should be somebody from each college. The interdisciplinary programs are fairly new. We didn't have seats for those until about 3 years ago. So I think this is a point where we would have discussion and then there would be a motion and you guys can decide if this would be an appropriate appointment to represent integrated health sciences. And then we can move forward with, I'd probably kick this back to committee, the bylaws committee, and we can clarify that language.
Perfect, thank you. So council or anyone on exec, does anybody have thoughts on this item?
Katie Brickrell for the record. So just to provide a little bit of context, like I'm technically employed and I work for the physical therapy department. So just like so people who weren't here when this happened have the history of it. And I was told that I could not represent the physical therapy department because I am not a student of physical therapy, which means I technically am not a student of the School of Integrated Health Sciences. I'm a student of the graduate college. So it's just providing that context for everybody there for future discussion.
No, thank you, thank you. Other comments? Okay. I guess I will also ask Dr. Robinson because he's here. What are your thoughts and opinions as our faculty advisor?
So actually, the one who could probably best answer this would be the grad college, but I'm inclined to believe that interdisciplinary programs are interdisciplinary programs, and you're not in a department, and so it's hard for you to represent that one thing. I kind of agree with Katie there on this. They could be sub people under Katie.
Definitely.
Katie could have minions.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so then with that being said, I believe some of our options are we can vote a person in, we can vote to kick this back to Constitution and Bylaws Committee and then have it come back up for appointment. We can vote to indefinitely suspend this. Nia, am I missing any other options?
I mean, honestly, there's quite a few options that you guys could do. It's just based off of a motion from anybody from in the council. It sounds like we could kick it back to Constitution and Bylaws Committee for an interpretation of that bylaw. We could actually also pull up the bylaw right now for the council appointments, because Katie does bring up a very good point. She was told this, and that's actually why we went back to graduate college and created those seats. And that also leaves council in a position where both of them were interdisciplinary students, correct?
That is what Heather said, but unless she's coming in as a new student, I believe she just graduated from the master's program. So technically she actually is in the kinesiology program because the IHS program is just PhD students. The interdisciplinary program, I should say.
Okay.
So I think we pull up our bylaws. Sorry, Nia Spursina again for the record. I think we should we could pull up the bylaw right now and take a quick read through it and continue the discussion. And also, I'm sorry, we probably do need a motion on the floor so we can discuss it. So right now the motion is we're discussing this particular item. This agenda item, never mind. We're good, we have a motion on the floor. All right, so let's see. GPS. I'm going to put a link to the bylaws. And then we'll probably have to do some control F. And then I'm also going to look up which
Thank
departments.
you all for, while we look through this a little more. My apologies. Manas, thank you for being patient while we are here.
Right, the bylaws are in the chat. And then Trey, you're welcome to do put the council into a short recess if you would like, so people have the opportunity to read through these items. We could do like a 5-minute recess while we research, and then we can reconvene. But that's completely up to you as the chair.
Yeah, no, let's go into a 5-minute recess and we will all reconvene at 6:33. So feel free to mute yourselves, pause your cameras, whatever you want to do. Our recess does have technically 30 seconds left, so I'm going to let the time run through just in case anyone from the public chose to take a restroom break. But I will slowly start making sure you're all coming back. Like the old man watching the timer, but we have 10 more seconds, so I'm just going to pause this for a second. Alrighty, I'm gonna bring us back from our recess. So I guess I will ask, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? After reviewing bylaws, I'll go to our secretary, Rachel.
So my first question in this wording is, what is considered a department? Because it's saying each department. So like my school, the College of well, I'm in COLA under psychology, we technically have 3 departments with 3 separate grad coordinators. So I think to like define what that is, what's a department?
Yeah, so departments are, Nia, if you want to jump in, but for me, I'm going to yield to our faculty advisor, Dr. Robinson.
So departments are actually units that are approved by the Board of Regents. So the difference is it's summertime right now. So summertime GPSA does colleges, not departments. And so you can argue that if the interdisciplinary program is interdisciplinary within the college, then they could represent the college, but not only until the fall comes, because then the department, they're not in a department. So they could be the summer rep, but not the ongoing continuous rep. The other thing is the departments are supposed to be picking people, but if you're not in a department, how does your department pick you, right? So that's the problem.
Definitely, yes. There is some vague language that whoever wants to be on Constitution and bylaws when we get to that item can help tackle. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Looks like Nia might be pulling something up. And I guess one thing I will say to that is, looking at these bylaws, technically under summer representatives, it just says, if you look at line 3, or item 3, it says the summer representative shall be any admitted and enrolled graduate or professional student that maintains good academic standing. Doesn't actually say in that entire section that they have to come from a department to represent. Yeah, but
yeah.
It is vague language, so yes, Dr. Robinson.
Question is, Bill Robinson for the record, if I don't keep saying that. Is the current interdisciplinary rep actually in the same college that these 2 people are in? If that's the case, then that college has a rep, which would be Katie.
Yes.
And we don't necessarily need to pick a new rep unless Katie's interdisciplinary that spans between. I mean, it's confusing. So, I mean, you can always suspend the bylaws, do a 2/3 vote, suspend the bylaws, and do whatever you want. But yeah, it seems to me it's more confusing than probably it's worth it to do.
So if I may say something.
Yes.
So Manas Agrawal for the record. So our department or our program or whatever it is has sub departments like physical therapy, to which Katie belongs, health physics, nutrition and kinesiology. So these are like literal departments that are a part of our program or part of our School of Integrated Health Science. So I don't know if that is a consideration. And another question I was wondering was, like, then does that mean that nobody from SIHS applied for this position?
Yes, so to answer that question, there was no SIHS representative, with the exception of when I sent out that request to the dean's office and he shared it all out with everyone. I received your information, one from OHIS, who is interdisciplinary, he stated, so he withdrew, and then Heather Tran, who's the other person up here. So it was just the three of you.
Yeah, so I mean, we do have those sub-departments which themselves function as a department. So I don't know if that is a consideration because that's what the bylaws say.
Definitely, thank you. Let's go to, I believe Bianca had her hand up first, and then we'll go Nehemiah and then Katie.
Yes, I was seeing here the colleges for the council representatives, and I was seeing members from the health. I think he mentioned, by the way, Bianca, for the records. So I think I've heard he mentioning that he's from the health science, School of Integrated Health Science. And then the last college is the college graduate college interdisciplinary program. So unless I didn't understand, I think we have two separate things here. You know? You know
Yes.
what I mean?
No, definitely. And I do see what you're saying, because like they are interdisciplinary health sciences PhD students. So I don't know if that necessarily transgresses like out of the school, if it's just within the school. But let me go to our VP Nehemiah. And thank you, Bianca.
Yeah, thank you, VP Nehemiah, for the record. So basically, since for the summer, I know we're not going to have this issue. It has to do with the normal semester when it has to do with fall or spring. But for the summer, based on what is on the bylaw, we have to work with colleges, right? I just had to go check from the back end to confirm if the both of them, that's Katie and Manas, if they actually have same graduate coordinator and same department chair. And I got to find out from the back end, they both have same graduate coordinator and same departmental chair, and listed under as their college as the graduate college. So I think if we're going to go with what is on the bylaw, I think it's going to, if we're going to appoint him, it's going to look as if we're going against what the bylaw says by creating an extra position when we already have someone who is representing the college of the graduate.
Definitely. Thank you. And I do agree. And then we'll go to Katie, if you don't mind.
Katie Brickwell, for the record. To answer your question, yes, we are under the same graduate coordinator. We're under the exact same program. To talk to Manas's point, again, the school is broken down by 4 departments, but we are not students of that department, and we like that's a message that I've been given repeatedly since I've been here, again, which is why this seat was created. But I also do think there's something to say about filling an empty seat for the summer role.
Perfect. No, thank you so much for that. Other comments, discussion points, or does anyone want to make a motion that is still an option and available? Let's go to David.
I'm sorry, I just have one quick question.
Yep.
We're looking for a representative to fill the seat for, oh my gosh, and I just lost it, the School of Integrated Health Sciences.
Correct.
And the candidates are all from the School of Interdisciplinary Health Sciences. I just want to make sure I have that right.
Yes, so they're a part of the graduate college because they're interdisciplinary. So the argument is that they're not technically under integrated health sciences, they're technically under the graduate college.
Okay. Thank you.
If you would like to give a law school recommendation as a law school representative.
I mean, my thoughts right now are that if we could maybe postpone it in some way, whether that means like what's been mentioned, kick it back to like the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, or maybe just I don't know, give us a week for some clarification and then we vote through Google Form or something like that. But I don't know. I am understanding Katie's point, and I think I'm understanding everything better now. So thank you.
Yes, no, thank you so much. Let's go Nehemiah and then to our GPSA manager and advisor, Nia.
I just want to say, I don't want to move a motion yet, but I recommend we've been able to go seek clarification from the graduate college before moving to create an additional representative seats based on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. And Nia?
Hey, I'm Nia Smersina for the record. So votes have to, excuse me, I'm the same thing having to bill. Sorry. So the votes do have to be taken publicly. We can't do any votes via Google form or anything. That would just be violating open meeting law. But we could, so there are a few options. Bill did suggest that you guys are welcome to do a 2/3 vote to suspend this bylaw, and then we need to do a motion to appoint someone. Katie brought up the point that this seat is empty and there was no interest from someone else from a different area. But it would have to be made very clear that this is an exception to that situation and why that would be done. So there could be more discussion there, but it sounds like the question on the floor is, are the current candidates eligible for the seat? So we don't even have a motion to move on them, but so we could call the question and the council can decide if they're eligible to go for the seat. And to do that, you'd have to do a bylaw suspension, because it does seem like the reading from the discussion and from the background research that Nehemiah did, it does sound like they share the same.
Yes.
They're from interdisciplinary health sciences, and there is a list of the interdisciplinary programs that fall and are under interdisciplinary, under undergraduate interdisciplinary programs. I'm pulling that list and I'll put that in the chat so you guys can see exactly which programs fall into the doctoral seat and which ones fall into the master's seat. So I can put that into the chat. They're adding new programs all the time. So I believe our list is up to date, but there might be one. I think there might have been one new one. I'm pretty sure our list is up to date. But basically, that's the motion on the floor, or that's the question that's on the floor. Someone can call the question, and then we can move to suspend that bylaw and appoint someone, or you guys can table this item. The council has quite a bit of options in terms of discussion and what next steps should be.
Perfect, thank you. I think that personally the cleanest way to move forward is to pick between one of three options to postpone this to council until our next scheduled July meeting, where I can work with the grad college and get their feedback and opinion and share it all out with you prior to that meeting, to kick it back to constitution and bylaws or to suspend the bylaws. Those would be my three recommendations, but you all as council can also make any recommendation you want. I don't want to force you into any one hat, so. Nia.
Actually, when it comes to these matters, I'm appointing representatives. You are absolutely encouraged to seek counsel from the graduate college. I actually feel like this is a situation that might actually kick it back to you all. So, but I would, if you need to seek more advice from those folks, I definitely think that would be worth it. But I think they'll probably end up kicking it back over to here.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
Bianca, so move.
Well, sorry, what would our motion be? Sorry.
Yes, we need to do the motion.
We're just asking, what would you like this motion to be, just so that we can clearly mark it for the record?
I think for the next, what Dave Elder, I think is Dave from law school, what he said about maybe postpone this discussion for this week. Maybe you can decide, because I think I have an impression that we already have a representative and there is this confusion. You know what I mean?
Yep, definitely.
So if we have already a representative, we don't have to vote for another, you know?
So would you just like it to come back to council, or would you like it to go to constitution and bylaws and then back to council? I will just also preface, summer is already halfway over. So as we are getting things moving, I just don't want this to be like a thing that runs until like August 10th and then their term is over in a week.
I don't think it should be, it should come back to us.
Okay. So then would you want constitution and bylaws once that committee is formed to just make a decision? Nia, I saw your hand up. Yes.
I personally, you guys can do that. Obviously, you guys are your own governing council. But I think your point about summer being halfway over, there's only 3 meetings in the entire summer. And I think you guys are more than capable of making a decision. Actually, I honestly think you guys are prepared to make a decision today. I think it'd just be discussion. But this is council.
No, I guess one question.
You get to make fun decisions.
Yes. One question I would have would actually go to Katie. How do you feel like if we were to suspend the bylaw and let there be another representative, being that you are the interdisciplinary rep? I don't want to put all the pressure on you, but how would you feel if there was another representative?
I mean, I think it just needs to be clear who communicates what to who. Like if somebody has questions from, the School of Integrated Health Sciences now, who is, the actual departments in mind would be just pretty much just the students in the interdisciplinary programs, just establishing that correct line of communication and making sure people are aware of who's in charge of that. Because I mean, like I said, I don't know that it's worth a spot that people are interested in not being filled for the summer, but obviously it potentially has implications for the fall, but that's kind of my opinion right now.
Thank you. Nia.
Actually, I just wanted a point of clarification that this person, if you all move to suspend that bylaw, it would be to appoint someone to the position of the School of Integrated Health Sciences, not to double fill an interdisciplinary seat. So basically, it would be to suspend the bylaw in Article 2, subsection 1, item 2, right here where it says that the shall be requested from each academic school department. This would be the suspension.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I also think it was very appropriate to ask Katie since she was in this position already. That was tactful.
Yes, thank you. Let's go to our secretary, Rachel.
Yes, so how do I word what I'm kind of thinking is that since, like you said, we're almost through summer and everybody seems to be kind of in agreement that we make a decision for now, suspending that and putting somebody in the health sciences, but not to let that be it, that we should revisit this and send it to Constitution and Bylaws, because it is confusing both during the fall session, the main session, and summer session of like who can apply for these roles. So I think that we should not let it go, but also put wording in.
Definitely, thank you. So now it is up to council to make, Manath, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify something because there is a lot of confusion. And the confusion is because, as we see, there are like 3 interdisciplinary doctoral programs: neuroscience, health science, and water resources. So like the neuroscience program, it has mentors from different departments: brain health, psychiatry, etc., etc. And then water resources. But the thing with interdisciplinary health sciences, and I'm just saying this for clarification for everybody, the interdisciplinary health science mentors are all from the School of Integrated Health Science, be it health physics, be it physical therapy, occupation therapy, nutrition, kinesiology. So that's why the interdisciplinary health science kind of confuses, and maybe it confused us and we ended up applying, but that's why it's a little different than the other interdisciplinary programs.
Definitely. Thank you. Katie.
Absolutely second on it being confusing. I think this happens just about every semester when we're looking for seats and I have to send clarifications, because then I get questions from people that I represent. They're like, I thought this was you. I'm like, yep, it is. Let me try to deal with it. But yeah, again, definitely not a comment towards the people who applied. Monis is obviously like a super capable like student and researcher and all of that, but just a comment on procedures and stuff.
Definitely, thank you. So we will again entertain any motion from the committee. Nehemiah, looks like you unmuted, so I'm gonna go to you.
Okay. I'm just trying to consider the time frame. if we try to head to the graduate college to get more clarifications and then bring it to the council to be able to vote on it and all that. Okay, I want to move a motion. Vice President Nehemiah, move a motion to suspend the bylaws.
Okay. And specifically, just so we're all aware, that is Article of the bylaws, Article 2, subsection 1, subsection 2. We're not suspending all the bylaws, just that specific area for summer representatives.
It'd be Article 2, Section 1, subsection 2.
Article 2, subsection 1, or Section 1, subsection 2. Thank you. So there is a motion on the floor for that suspension. Is there a second?
Kalyani Ganapati Reddy, second.
I'm so sorry. Can we also read the article in question, the part that is being suspended, read it out loud so that way it's clear to those listening only?
Yes, so Article 2, Section 1, subsection 2 states summer representatives at the April GPSA Council meeting, nominations shall be requested from each academic school and department to represent each respective college during the summer sessions. GPSA shall accept nominations for 1 week following the April GPSA Council meeting. A, nominations shall be voted upon at the May GPSA Council meeting by GPSA Council. B, upon the event of a tie vote in council, GPSA executive board members shall cast the deciding votes. C, upon the event of a tie vote in the executive board, the president shall cast the deciding vote. And there was a motion made by VP Nehemiah, and it was seconded by our treasurer, Kalyani. So we will now, I'm going to ask that we do a roll call vote just so that we can have everyone's opinions specifically marked down. So Rachel, if I could go to you for a roll call vote, we will say yay or nay. Yay means you are in favor of suspending the bylaws. Nay means you are against suspending the bylaws.
Sorry, do I do the e-board or just the college council reps?
We are all voting members, so we will include executive board.
Okay, so I will start with President Curtis Brown.
I'm voting yes in favor.
And Vice President Chukwu.
It's in favor of the motion.
And Treasurer Kalyani.
In favor of the motion.
And Secretary is in favor. And Hayden, oh wait, no, sorry. Chris Miguel, please.
In favor of the motion.
And David Elder.
Aye. In favor.
Thank you. And Bianca Martin Steele Liver.
In favor.
And Kaden Vanguard.
In favor.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my document locked up for a second. Apologize. Give me one moment. Okay. Sorry. Salome.
Yes, in favor of the motion.
Thank you. And then Katie Bucarell.
In favor.
Alrighty, so that was everyone in favor. So with a vote of 15 to 0 to 0, the motion passes and the bylaw is suspended. Now I would entertain another motion to, entertain another motion to approve either Heather or Manas to represent SIHS for summer council.
Vice President Chukwu, move to approve the item on the presented agenda.
Perfect, thank you. There was a motion by VP Nehemiah. Can I get a second?
Second.
Perfect, and that motion was seconded by Bianca. Again, since there are two candidates, we'll do a roll call vote. Please state the person you are voting to put on to council. For SIHS, it will be either Manas or Heather. And if Rachel, you could help with another roll
Sorry, I had to
Thank
unmute.
you.
I am here. Okay, starting with President Curtis Brown.
My vote is for Manas.
Okay. And Vice President Chukwuemeka.
It's for Manas.
And Treasurer Kalyana.
Voting for Manas.
Okay. I am Secretary Rachel also is voting for Manas. Okay, and then we have Chris Miguel, please.
I vote in favor of Manas.
Thank you. And then David Ilter.
I'll vote for Manas.
Okay, and Bianca
Manas.
and Caden.
Manas.
And then Salome.
Same for Manas.
And then Katie.
Manas.
Okay, that is all.
Perfect. So with a vote of 15 to Manas out of our 15 council members present, Manas, you are our new School of Integrated Health Sciences Summer 2026 GPSA Council member rep. Welcome to the team, and thank you for the very long process.
Thank you.
And then it looks like VP Nehemiah has a comment before we move on.
Just a comment, VP Nehemiah, for the record. Just to iterate what Katie said, she talked about we trying our best to ensure we have a kind of distinct roles and responsibilities for the both of them. I just want to make that comment. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, yes, we will always ensure to the best of our abilities that Katie, you will handle our interdisciplinary items. Manas very much thinks School of Integrated Health, so all of those programs. On that note, though, we will go ahead and move on in our agenda because we have a lot to go. This will be item 7C, our presidential cabinet appointments. Oh, sorry.
Can I don't know if this is proper procedure, but can I entertain a motion to make sure that this gets moved to council or to what was it? I'm sorry, Constitution and bylaws to be evaluated and adjusted so that this doesn't happen next summer?
Yes, as soon as Constitution and Bylaws Committee is formed, I will send over a request from council to review this item so that there's more.
Okay, so we don't need to like make a motion for that or anything?
No,
okay.
You can also mention it in new business for things that you would like to happen, but I will be also making sure it goes to Constitution and Bylaws.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Before we move on, Nia also. Yes.
Same thing as what Rachel was worried about. Same thing. This would not be, it would have to be a motion, but it would definitely be something that gets added to the minutes, that there is an action item here, so that the chair would have to create a memo that would go to the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, and then it would specifically lay out exactly what the council has requested to be reviewed by that committee. So just be an internal memo.
Perfect. Thank you all. Wait, sorry, Nia. I definitely heard what you said, but I didn't listen. Can you say that?
I totally understand that. I completely get that, especially when you're trying to run a meeting at the same time. This is why there's a secretary and somebody else takes minutes. So what I was saying is that there should be a memo, just an internal memo, so that it's very clear and explicit as to what the council requested from the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. So this would just be an action item, and you can delegate this out to somebody just to remember it, but it'll go into the minutes too. Just a little memo to the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. We have actually a memo template, but it should be a formalized document because this is something that council has requested be passed down to another committee. So we do have a template in the Google Drive.
I will work on that memo and that template next week because I'm going on vacation. So when I return, I will work on that next week before our Constitution Bylaws Committee meeting.
And luckily we have a recording as well. And then also just another quick note, I just want to make sure that the minutes are very clear is that this was what conditions led the council to this decision to suspend that bylaw, because there weren't any other students from that college or from that school, and just make sure that's clear in the minutes.
Perfect. We will do that. Okay, so we are going to move on to item 7C, presidential cabinet appointments. There is a reference document attached. I would encourage you all to, hopefully you've all looked at it, but while you're pulling that up on the agenda, and I guess I can share the link in, Nia, is there any way you could help put the link in the chat also so people can pull it up? I'm on my laptop and it's not very convenient. But as that's being pulled up, President's Cabinet has 4 director positions. The first one is Director of Legislative Affairs. As we are going through and talking on them, I will start by saying that we had over 95 people submit applications to be on President's Cabinet, which was a record amount of numbers, and very much a thorough review process went through. I spent like 6 days reviewing everyone. But as we dive through, we'll just go through them in order. For Director of Legislative Affairs, we have Devin Lopez, who was the former GPSA president last term, who expressed interest in being Director of Legislative Affairs. I think that he's an absolutely amazing person, and I would be shocked to have anybody else in this role. But again, Council, you can all vote in favor or not. Our next and all of their questions that they were asked and some of their answers in a as conjoined debrief that I could provide for you all was provided. And then at the end of each page, there was some of the additional applicants who were considered, just so that you all know there was a very thorough review process. But yes, so Legislative Affairs, we have Devin. For Director of Engagement and Outreach, I'm recommending Alexander Zafrana, who also just again expressed really great interest. The other applicants considered was our former Director of Engagement. Yes, but you can read through again their comments and what they were asked. For Director of Communications and Marketing, I'm recommending to appoint Starlisha Towers. She is a student in sports management, expressed a lot of interest, and has a lot of experience with our socials, as well as helping us as exec board get a lot of memos out. So that will be another one. And then for Director of Operations, we have our recommended appointee being Jared Desarmero, who is a Master's of Science Qualitative Finance student. And his information is there, and then our additional applicants are below. And those would be our 4 director positions at the moment. But I will now open it up for any questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts, anything anyone wants to address. And I will also add, you all as council are able to, again, you can vote for everyone all at once on this item. If you want them to all be their own agenda item, we can request having a motion to separate them out and vote one by one. It is really your call. I was trying to go the most efficient route, but it is up to council.
Katie Becquerel for the record. Motion to vote them all one by one. I mean, as a big group, whatever that term is.
Yes, so then that is how it is currently set up, is to just approve in bulk for item 7C. But yes, thank you. So there is a motion on the table to approve item 7C, presidential cabinet appointments. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Salome.
Perfect. So I heard the motion go through by Katie, and it was first seconded by our VP, Nehemiah. So you were quick on the draw there. So with that being said, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Perfect. Any opposed? And any abstaining? Alrighty, so with that being said, item 7C passes, and our President's Cabinet is appointed. I will email them all this week, or early next week, I should say, to get them all started in their transition process. Nia, I will work with you to see what the whole onboarding process and everything looks like for them, and we can go from there. Thank you all. That was a lot quicker than I was thinking it would be. So thank you. And on that note, we will open item 7D, nominations to GPSA committees. So per the bylaws, you all as council members are required to serve on a committee. So we have sponsorship, Ways and Means Committee, Constitution and Bylaws Committee, and then Rules and Ethics. With that being said, for sponsorship committee, I do believe that they're almost all the way full, so I will defer to our VP Nehemiah on that one, but looks like Nia has a comment for us.
I just actually, Nia Smersina for the record, I just had a question. Sorry. We have an item 7G, committee service requirement and service opportunities. Did you want to move the agenda out of order, or do you want to keep it in this order?
Ooh. Actually, okay, yes. So it might make more sense for us to talk on it on 7G first. So I'm going to pause that and temporarily close 7D and open 7G. Yes, so thank you for that, Nia. This is for our committee service requirement and service opportunities. So just so that the committee, or so that council is aware, Nia and I were going back and forth, and we want to see the best way to really make sure that, you know, all of your time on council is being best represented. So there is a lot of interest from students across campus to serve on committees, and I know that some members on council do not love to sit on a committee and in another meeting as well. So right now, this is an information only item because it would have to go to Constitution and Bylaws for revisions and changes, but we were discussing the possibility of changing the bylaw so that council members had to either serve on a committee or serve or attend X amount of events. In my mindset, that would be like 2 to 3, or like maybe 2 a semester. This is all up for your guys' decisions. It's open conversation. It does have to go to Constitution and Bylaws before we actually decide. But I'm just really trying to open up what council can do and really ensure that you guys are, you know, getting the experience you want out of GPSA Council. You're attending more events so that we do have that better in attendance at events, because in the past it has been a little bit lighter in the past with council members attending. So I just wanted to open it up so that GPSA can kind of grow and foster, you know, and blossom moving forward. But this is just open for information. Nia, I don't know if you have more in the reference document that was added to the chat for item 7G, which is reference 46-02B. This will just provide some other opportunities that council would be able to adopt or attend instead of doing a committee assignment. They could attend these starting in the fall semesters. There will also be tons and tons of more information, events, other outside committees, lots of things. But Nia, am I missing anything? I feel like I'm rambling at this point.
So I mean, this is definitely it's information only, and it's for discussion. As sorry, Nia Smersina again for the record. So this is an information only item. But as Trey already mentioned, we understand that some of these and honestly, some of these committees, when we get people appointed to them and they don't really want to serve on them, we have an issue where we don't meet quorum. We'll have 7 or 8 people appointed to a committee, but then they don't show up. And on the flip side, we always need folks to help us do these events, and typically the events are very, very fun. So we put together a really quick list of the big events that will be coming up that we're aware of so far, like the big events. There's going to be smaller ones, and I'm sure the new director of engagement and outreach will be putting together, and we can add things to this list. We'll have an ongoing thing where we can add items, but this would probably be brought back up in September at the September council meeting, and we should have a much more detailed list of the events for the entire academic year, any other smaller ones. But this is a pretty good thorough list of the really big hitter events that are going to come up. Oh my gosh, there's a giant one missing on here, and I just realized it. It's research form. But yeah, there's a handful in here. So these are just the options. But is there more discussion? How do you guys feel about that bylaw? How do you guys feel about the committee service, these other service opportunities to attend events and support GPSA's effort to foster community, which is really what a lot of these are. And they're just open for discussion.
Yes, thank you, Nia. But yeah, we'll make it just quick discussion. It is information only, so it does go to Constitution and bylaws next, based off of what some of your all thoughts are. And then it would go back to council eventually. I do think that this wouldn't really start until fall semester, just because there is not a lot of events and things going on outside of orientation for the summer. But yes, comments. Do you all think this is a terrible idea, a good idea? Katie.
Katie Brickerell for the record. I think this is actually a great idea for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. And a lot of shout out to Nia. This she brought it up, so I'm just putting it on agendas, but I thought it was a great idea when you had it, Nia. Yeah. Others. Okay. Thank you.
Say. Lots of hearts.
Yes, looks like lots of hearts, lots of good ideas. Again,
let's engage, let's work, guys. We should. It's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Nia?
I also just realized that a few of these events, they come up really, really fast. They come up before the September council meeting even meets, and it's actually these three right here. So we do tabling at NSO. Typically the executive board officers attend this, but we could definitely open it up to a council service opportunity. It's when you get to table and meet a lot of the new incoming students. We also have the open house, which is an event we do every year on the first day of school, every semester, excuse me, on the first day of school. And then we also have the involvement fair, which the sign up for this hasn't come out yet, but as soon as it does, GPSA typically signs up for this. So these all happen before council meets in September.
Yes. And to that point, I think we can again work with our secretary, Rachel, who is going to help us get all of our council members for fall all on by the start of September is my fingers crossed goal. I don't know if it will happen, but we are going to put a good, strong fight up, and we can put a lot of this verbiage into there pending Constitution and bylaws, and council can get it approved prior to that. But we'll definitely work at exec team's hardest and fastest to get things rolling and moving. But any other comments on this before we hop back into our agenda or other items in our agenda? Okay, not seeing any more. Thank you again, and great idea going out of order, Nia. Thank you. But I'm going to go ahead and close 7G and simultaneously reopen 7D, nominations to GPSA committees. Really, I would say, some of the big ones, as you've heard, is Constitution and bylaws is coming up, and there will now be things definitely on that committee agenda right away. Ways and Means, we are working next week to get a budget set and proposed for you all. It goes to Ways and Means next, and then it goes up to council for approval. So Ways and Means will have a lot going on. Rules and Ethics Committee, there's always rules and ethics to review. And then we do have sponsorship. Again, Nehemiah, our VP, oversees sponsorship. I believe Nehemiah is sponsorship full now with our appointment, or where are we at?
So currently we have Vice President Chukwere for the record. We have currently 10 committee members on ground, so I can say it's actually full. Plus myself, we have 11. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. So then I will go ahead and open it up for for discussions and possible action. But what committees would you all like to serve on? And then for more information, the next item 7E, we will appoint all of you to those committees unless there is any contention. I'm trying to get us moving and rolling as quick as humanly possible because summer is so short. So yes, Nehemiah.
VP Nehemiah for the record. I have some students I need to nominate for the RSO funding subcommittee. Should I do that here or I should wait?
No, let's do it here.
Okay. Thank you. So I had a discussion with Nia, and we came to the conclusion that we need more members on the sponsorship committee, basically to serve in the RSO committee. So we just want to have like an RSO funding subcommittee under the GPSA sponsorship committee. So the advert we sent, we had about I think 15 or 16 students thereabout who showed interest in the sponsorship committee, and I had to look at the 16 of them or the 15 of them, and came to the number of 3 students for nomination. So I would like to nominate the following individuals or following students for the appointment to the sponsorship committee. One is a student from JD, candidate, that's jury's doctor candidates, by name Karen Chijwell. The second student is from the Department of Master of Public Administration, or rather Master of Public Administration students, by name Janet Vences Valve. And then the third person is Doctor of Philosophy candidates in Geology, by name Ami Noak. So if appointed, these members will serve on the sponsorship committee with a specific focus on the RSO funding subcommittee. I strongly believe that these nominees will bring valuable experience and perspective that will help enable us to have a better committee in order to support our graduate professional student organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everybody else, what committees would you like to be on? Katie.
Katie Brickrell, for the record. Considering the conversation I launched today, I'll go ahead and self-nominate for the bylaws committee.
Perfect. Thank you. Salome?
Salome Obleka, for the records, I would like to serve in the Ways and Means Committee.
Perfect. Alrighty. Everybody else, where would you like to go? David.
David Elder, for the record. I'll self-nominate for the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. And I'll also just say that Karen Tidgwell for the RSO funding is the most qualified person I could think of from the law school. So I absolutely approve of that.
Ooh, thank you for the endorsement. Alrighty. Others, where would you like to go?
Can I talk?
Kalyani Ganapati Reddy for record. I would like to be part of Basin County's committee and RSO funding as well.
Yes. Actually, really quick, Nia, isn't Kalyani already on Ways and Means as an ex officio member, or is that not a thing?
Yes, Nia's proceeded for the record. Yes, Kalyani is on Ways and Means Committee as an ex officio member, but she is welcome to nominate herself for other committees. So if she wants to do RSO funding, she's more than welcome to do that.
Perfect.
But you are not required to, Kalyani.
Yes, you also do a lot, so you do not have to be on a committee if you do not want to. But I will put you down for subcommittee for the RSO funding. Nehemiah, if you're okay with that, since it's your subcommittee.
Please come again.
Sorry?
I didn't get it clearly. You said?
Are you okay if we also put Kalyani on your subcommittee for RSO funding?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty good.
Okay, perfect. Manas?
I was just gonna ask if you could repeat all the name of the committees.
Yeah, of course. So we have Ways and Means, Constitution and Bylaws, Rules and Ethics, and Sponsorship if there's more, which I believe is now full, unless Nehemiah corrects me. And Nia, you had a hand raised?
I do. When we had talked, we were due to some, so the RSO funding committee, we were talking about limiting to 3 people because there's the way the workflow is built right now. We could probably increase that to like 4 or 5, but we're trying to make something that's just sustainable. And so we don't accidentally have walking quorum within the built-in workflow.
Okay, so
what do you think, Nehemiah? We can increase it if you think there's more interest. We could build it into the workflow. it's not a hard change to make, but I just don't, if we drops below that number.
I think it's open to the council to
Maybe we
decide. Yeah,
put
I
it
know we had a
4.
discussion that we just wanted 3 on the RSO funding based on what we have on the system backend. I don't know.
Maybe we know more than 4.
I would agree. I think limiting that to 4 plus Nehemiah, if you're on there, that would technically be 5.
Nehemiah would be a non-voting member as the
non-voting.
chair, but unless there's a tie.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm gonna really ask that we leave it there so we don't have quorum issues in case any of us travel over summer, unless anybody really opposes that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So then we still have a few more of you all. What committees do you want to be on? I can also just run down our attendance list and call you out and ask. Okay. Then who has their hand? Manas, yes.
So is there any vacancy in the sponsorship committee?
Nehemiah, is sponsorship full now?
So I just want to get something quick. These were appointments. Is it just for the summer or for the full academic year?
Nia, I'm going to refer to you because I actually don't know that answer.
So sorry, this is for the summer. We would reappoint in the fall,
Okay.
just summer.
I think we're actually full at the moment. Yeah.
Perfect. So then what we have open is Ways and Means, Constitution and Bylaws, and Rules and Ethics, Manas.
Okay, and then I was just curious, like what exactly does the Ways and Means Committee do?
Yeah, so they handle all of our fiscal, anything money related will go through Ways and Means. So the big thing that you'll see this summer is that we're going to, as exec and me, write the annual budget, and then we will send it over to Ways and Means. They will tear apart our budget as much or as hopefully little as they want, and then make their revisions, and then we'll send it on to council for final budget approval. Nia, what else am I missing? Ways and Means does like a little bit of everything, in my opinion. So
Yes, I would go for the Rules and Ethics Committee. Thank you.
perfect.
Yes, Christina, for the record, for Ways and Means, the way I like to think about it is literally they find the ways and the means that GPSA pays for things.
I like that. I think Lakyasha had her hand up next.
Yes. Am I able to nominate myself for the bylaws?
Of course. And Hayden?
Kaden Jangard, self-nominating for Ways and Means.
Perfect. And Nia, really point of clarification. Do we know what the caps are for each of our committees? Do we have a cap on like how many people can be on our committees?
So actually the other committees do not have any caps. Actually, so the only one that has a cap is sponsorship and the new RSO funding committee.
Okay.
Everything
perfect.
else is uncapped. It's infinity.
Okay, so we don't have 1,000 people on one. No. Okay, so others. I would like to get you all put on a committee so that we can make sure you all get your stipend and paid at the end of summer. So, who else? I'm gonna run down our list and just start asking. I'm gonna go down here. So Bianca, what committee would you like to be on?
Do you still have constitution bylaws?
Yeah, we can do that. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, there is I think it's Chinoso. He or she posted. They comment. They put a comment.
Perfect. So yes, we will also mark you present now. And then so I'm going to say present at 7:26 for the minutes, Rachel.
I've been here for some time. Sorry, I came late, but I've
Oh,
been here
no.
for a while. My phone had issues, and yeah, but I was there before 7 p.m.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna say present at 7 p.m. and for minute records. Also, just so you're aware, we're not gonna use our chat, so I haven't been looking there, but thank you. But Chinonso did self-nominate for Ways and Means Committee, so I will add you there.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Let's see, okay. We did. Chris, what would you like to be on?
Well, just a clarification question. What is like the service requirement actually like? I mean, does it have to be a committee or can it be like service that's like outside of UNLV but still considered professional service?
I believe as the bylaws say right now, you do have to serve on a committee.
Okay. Does it have to be like a GPSA one or can it be like a committee that's just on campus somewhere?
I'm going to call on Nia because I don't know off the top of my head.
Nia Smersina for the record. So for this specific bylaw, it is actually for a GPSA service. So it has to be related to a GPSA committee or an external committee in which a GPSA representative serves on. So like dining advisory board, bookstore advisory board, things like that. And so during the summer, those external committees, to my knowledge, aren't active. So it's just the internal committees for right now.
Okay. I can self-nominate for the Rules and Ethics Committee then.
Perfect, and thank you so much. Okay, who do we still have? Is that everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that can't be everyone. Okay, let's see. So I have Chris, David. Sorry, I'm writing as we go, so bear with me, everyone. We have,
I think that's everyone
yeah.
that I have that's present. So.
Oh, yes, because I was also counting the 4 of us in our head, so that's where that came from. Okay, so we all have all of our appointments. So to get us done with this meeting sooner, I'm going to just quick run through of what our nominations are, and then we can go ahead and use the same list to appoint them to the committee in 7E. So for Ways and Means, I have Salome, Caden, and Chinonso. For Constitution and Bylaws, I have Katie, David, Lakiasha, and Bianca. For Rules and Ethics, I have Manas and Chris. And then for Sponsorship Subcommittee, we have Karen, Janeth, Amy, and Kalyani. Anybody think anything's wrong there? Okay, cool. So then all in favor of approving the nomination list to move it to item 70 for appointment to those committees, please say aye.
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 Perfect.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstaining? Not seeing any, this item passes.
Sorry, did we have a motion for that? Do we need one?
No, we did not. Did I?
There was no motion for that. So
There's not a motion.
Start there.
Okay. So
Also,
very.
you have to add the RSO funding committee folks to that list.
Yes. So would I have to do an amendment to this item really quick then?
Yeah, you can. Actually, there's no motion on the floor yet, so we need a motion. So there's no amendment to be made.
Okay. So then can I have a motion to approve item 7D, nominations to GPSA committees, and including the sponsorship subcommittee into that list? Does that work?
I, Vice President Chukwere, move to approve the item on the presented agenda.
Perfect. Moved by VP Nehemiah. Can I get a second?
Second.
And seconded by Bianca. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Perfect.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstaining? Alrighty, perfect. So with that being said, 7D passes, and we are going to open 7E, which is the appointment to GPSA committees. I will read through the list one more time just for the records. But being appointed to committees for Ways and Means, we have Salome, Caden, and Chinonso. For Constitution and Bylaws, we have Katie, David, Lakiasha, and Bianca. For Rules and Ethics, we have Manas and Chris. And then for our sponsorship subcommittee on, oh my gosh, subcommittee on what was it for? RSO funding. We have Karen, Janeth, Amy, and Kalyani. So can I please have a motion to approve item 7E, committee appointments to GPSA committees and including the sponsorship subcommittee in that list?
Motion to approve
Hi,
item
Chinonso
7E.
Onibu.
Okay, it looks like it was moved by Katie, and can I get a second?
Second, Chinonso Onibu.
And seconded by Chinonso. So all in favor of our committee appointments and item 7E as a whole, please say aye.
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 Perfect. Any opposed? And any abstaining? Okay, not seeing any. 7E passes. Early next week, early meaning Monday, I will email everyone on their committees to get availability to get our first committee meetings up and running. Yeah, how does that work? There's not a chair to schedule it. Do I schedule and start the meeting and then first item, they elect a chair? I don't know what that process looks like.
We do typically have, sorry, yes, I'm saying it for the record, there are typically ex officio chairs in place. So for example, Ways and Means, the ex officio chair is actually Kaligani, the treasurer. Bylaw, Constitution, and Bylaws is the president, sponsorship is obviously the vice president, and the Rules and Ethics Committee is the president. And then the RSO Funding Committee, the ex officio chair is the vice president. So at that point, they would be serve as the chairs. They would be able to appoint a new chair and have somebody else take over that role or not. And then you'll also appoint a vice chair at that first committee meeting.
Okay, perfect. We heard how that works. So I will make sure Kalyani and Nehemiah and myself, we're all set and get things going out next week because I want to enjoy our weekend. But with that being said, we're going to go into our one of our last items, 7F. This is an information only item on a council announcement regarding in-person meeting requirements. I've been scared to bring this up to you all, but also know it's starting for fall semester. So if we have anyone who ever takes a moment to read our bylaws, I feel like every time we look at them, there's something new. But technically, by having virtual meetings, we are breaking our bylaws for council. So technically, the bylaws, as they state right now, is that council meetings are held in person as well as our executive board meetings. Committees can meet however, there wasn't a set rule on that in the bylaws, but as president, I do want to start enforcing that so that we are not breaking our bylaws. However, with that being said, we do understand that having to come to main campus in person once a month can be somewhat difficult, especially for our students who are up at Shadow Lane. So thinking like our dental, our med students, nursing, there is that difficulty. So one thing that, again, our amazing advisor, Nia, suggested is we can build in some additional guidelines to approve a remote joining for this meeting. So I think that the best way to do that would be to have it run through our GPSA secretary, Rachel, where you can submit a request. We'll have a more formalized process with a form, things like that, explaining your reasoning for needing to be remote. Maybe you couldn't find a proxy, anything like that. There's an item you still want to be on, but we just couldn't get to that point of coming to campus. And then that decision would be left to our secretary for approval. But I do want to get us back into compliance. I'm not going to require that this summer because it's a very quick turnaround and change. But for everyone coming in fall council, I will be enforcing our in-person meeting requirements per our bylaws, unless there is an approved reason by our GPSA secretary, Rachel, or myself if Rachel is gone. We can work through that process. But thoughts, comments, concerns, I know that this is like the most unpopular decision, but I am a rule follower, so I'm going to listen to our bylaws as they're currently stated. And personally, I don't feel that bad making council members come to campus one day a month for a committee meeting. Not that big of an ask in my personal opinion, but I know we're all busy and have things going on. So open for discussion, thoughts, comments, anything you have. That was a long-worded way to say I was scared to tell you all that I'm going to follow our bylaws and make you come to meetings in person. But any comments? Nia, I know we went back and forth on this a little bit, but if anybody has anything to say, otherwise I'm going to feel like you all somewhat agree that we should follow our bylaws and meet in person. Dr. Robinson.
There's food.
There is food at our council meetings, and we buy a lot of it, so you guys should also eat that. Good point.
But hey, let me ask you something. Are we meeting on July in person or online? Because I'm still in Brazil.
Yep, no, so for summer, I intend to keep it hybrid, so we will have an in-person option, but you are more than welcome to join online. I know that that's a big change, so it won't be officially starting that I'm a little more strict on that until fall council starts, because I know that we're all traveling and doing things in the summer, but fall council will also be working with Rachel to ensure that anyone who's coming up in fall council knows that meetings will be in person unless there is an exception needing to be made. And we'll have all the meeting dates outlined and set so that people can build their schedule before they even fully commit to being on council. As far out as we can, unless there's like a special meeting or weird AC goes out in the library and we have to move. Outside of that, we will have council in person.
Fine.
But thank you. Other comments? Okay.
Yeah, I love the initiative. Vice President for the record. Yeah, it's a nice one. Yeah, I'm in support of it. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, VP Nehemiah. With that being said, I don't see any other comments, so I'm going to close 7F. We'll move into item 8, announcements of upcoming events, deadlines, etc. I do not have any. Nia, is there anything specific coming up that you're aware of? Summer's a little slower, so I don't think there is.
We do have, we just have the monthly rolling sponsorship deadline. So there is a deadline at the end of the month for June 30th. That's on the actual sponsorship website. So I think that's activities that start in September. Oh, I don't want to say that out loud and then be wrong. Hang on one second. So there's a deadline coming up for anybody with research activities that start in the month of, drum roll please, let's see if I was right. September, nailed it. Wow, look at that. Yeah, so if you have an activity, research activity in the month of September, your deadline to apply for sponsorship is June 30th. But other than that, I don't. Oh, and also June 30th is fiscal year end. So that is the end of the fiscal year for the university and for the Nevada System of Higher Education. So I will be doing a lot of things for fiscal year ends, and I will be in the rabbit hole at that point. But that's internal. But
perfect. Thank you. And then just an item. I have not seen my WhatsApp popping off, but Julia Chen for hospitality has been present the entire meeting, but she is on the live stream and did not have the Zoom link. So I am very, very sorry, Julia, if you're still on and listening, but we will mark you present for this meeting. And I very much do apologize. She also did say, I just want to let you know that I'm present for hospitality because I don't have the Zoom link. I'm only watching on the TV. I am in favor. That looks like it would happen during suspending the bylaws and just off the timeline. And then I don't have the Zoom link, just on the YouTube. Please help. So that is my apologies, Julia. I cannot multitask enough and read a chat as well as doing this. But yes, let me go Manas first really quick and then on to Nia.
Yeah, I was just curious about the sponsorship application that was just mentioned for the research activity. Where do we find that?
Yes, so I'm going to actually let our VP Nehemiah answer your questions because it's sponsorship related.
Okay. Yeah, so it's actually online. You just for me, when I did that before I came on board, I just had to go online and I typed GPSA UNLV sponsorship.
Got it. So the link was shared in the chat, so thank you.
Okay, I've seen the link. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. It also looks like our next council meeting is July 24th. It will be hybrid unless there is AC issues. But yes, thank you so much. And now I'm nervous reading my chat that I missed somebody else on our agenda, but we didn't. So thank you all. We'll now move into item 9, public comment. Please see the foregoing notions. You can call in for public comment using the same number listed. Does anybody have any public comment at this time? Okay, Mia, was there anyone calling in right now? And I didn't receive any more emails in the meantime. Rachel, did you receive anything else in the meantime?
Sorry. Yes, Christina, for the record, for the public comment, actually, we go back to that little script about the start, the one that was in the Slack message, with the instructions on how to call in for public comment. Maybe just give a moment for that, since we did have to go fully online, and just read that little closing script, so that way, and then maybe give it like a minute so that people have the opportunity to dial, if they're there.
Yes, let me.
Like Julia.
Sorry, we have a lot of things in our chat, so.
It was that Canvas link, that little Slack canvas.
Alrighty, so for public comment, members of the public may provide live public comment by telephone using the Zoom dial-in listed in the agenda. Phone number 719-359-4580, meeting ID 981-2498-7763. If you are participating by phone and would like to provide public comment, please press *9 to raise your hand if that function is available to you. When you are called on, press *6 to unmute. If the raise hand function is not available, meeting staff will identify phone participants and provide an opportunity for comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. Please begin by stating your name for the record and spelling your last name. We will give it just a moment for public comment if anyone wants to call in. I'm gonna let it get to 7:45, and then I will end public comment so people have a moment to dial. I just feel like I have to wait till it says 7:45 because I just said it in the minutes. So we have 25 seconds to go. Sorry, everyone. Five more seconds.
You guys are doing great. This is very good due diligence for your public meeting.
Yes. Okay, so there does not appear to be any public comment or anyone calling in, so we'll go ahead and close public comment, and at 7:45 p.m. I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Minutes will be posted when they get posted. Committee appointments will come out soon, and we will update you as things come up. But thank you all. I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience and the craziness of today.